Hi, last time we were discussing the possibility that our lives were like a book, an open-ended, multi-layered, multi-pathed book, and that we could choose the passages we read as we passed through it. But all of the possibilities were wrapped up within those pages. And this led us to consider, well, if that's a suitable metaphor, who's reading the book? Who opens and closes the book, and what's outside of the book? Is there then some larger part of ourselves, separate from this pinpoint of consciousness which guides us through our day-to-day lives? Are there many layers to ourselves? Well, we've already answered this in part when we were talking, a good while ago, when we first started looking at the nature of time and the fact that our personality changes over time. And that now, at 53, I am not the same person that I was at 23, by any means. Indeed, I'm not the same person that I was yesterday. And my thoughts and mood now are not the same as they were this morning. But there's a continuity between all of these things. They're threaded together by this connection, which is the sense of self, the sense of I being I, that pinprick of self-awareness that ties all of these things. And is there a kind of self beyond the self that we daily recognise? Well, we know that there certainly are deep down inside us, because we encounter those mirrors of ourself as we sleep and dream, and these are projections of ourself, but we don't have full conscious control over them. But it's still us, because that sense of identity and continuity persists in sleep. And I would venture to guess that nearly all of us have had that experience when we seem to be detached, as if we're looking at ourselves from over our own shoulder, when we're commenting upon our own doings and thoughts and words as if from outside, a watcher sort of behind us, who is nonetheless ourself, because those thoughts are our thoughts, even though they don't come from that pinpoint that we refer to as the focus of our consciousness. In mental illness, of course, sometimes personalities can fragment, and one person can seem to be composed of several different people altogether. We have to look at the fact that you are a different person when you talk to your boss than you are when you talk to your spouse or your children or your parents. You're a different person when you apply for a job than you are when you go to the pub or visit a friend's house. You're a different person when you meet people you know and have known for a long time, and you're each comfortable with each other's boundaries, and you know what you can say. And yet when you meet somebody new, everything is pulled back that bit and you're more guarded. We wear these masks of personality all the time, and we put them on and change them, take them off, without really being consciously aware of it. People change their masks to suit the occasion purely automatically. And it's actually quite liberating, you know, when You realise that this is the case, and you become capable of changing your mask by choice, of adopting a whole new persona. This is something that actors do for a living, of course. The better somebody is able to completely change their personality, their outlook, their behaviour, their speech, the better actor they will become. It's a skill that we can all learn. So our personality changes according to time of life. Our personality changes according to where we are, who we're with, what we're doing. And there is evidence to suggest that we have more than one personality, more than one self inhabiting us, and yet still one sense of identity, one connecting thread, one personal essence of self. So what would this self outside of the book be like? This self who is so much beyond our everyday self that it can see the beyond, the outside. Does this imply that there is an afterlife or reincarnation or something of that sort? And how can we approach these ideas? Well, the reason I've started going on about different aspects of self before answering that question, and instead of going directly into it from the discussion on time and the book of self, is because it's necessary to understand the aspects of self before we can proceed any further. And next time I'm going to suggest a model of self which incorporates all that we are, but also all that we may be and all that may exist outside. One that will be familiar to some of you, but maybe very new to others. So please join me for that.